The rain hammered the windshield like it was trying to break through, turning the world outside into a smeared watercolor of taillights and blurred street signs. I gripped the steering wheel tighter, my knuckles white, as Owen's text lit up my phone again. "Just get here, Alex. Jamie's gone for the weekend. We need to talk." Talk. As if words could fix the knot in my gut that had been twisting since the night I saw him kiss her. His fiancée. The one he swore was just a family obligation. My best friend's older brother. The guy who'd become my everything in secret, now reduced to a ghost in my passenger seat of regret. And as I pulled into the driveway of that familiar split-level house on Elm Street in Rochester, New York, I wondered if stepping out meant walking into the end of us. The porch light buzzed faintly as I killed the engine, the rain easing to a relentless drizzle that soaked my hoodie the second I opened the door. Owen was already there, leaning against the railing with a beer in hand, his broad shoulders hunched like he was carrying the weight of the whole damn Finger Lakes on them. He looked up, those hazel eyes catching the light, stormy, uncertain, and for a split second, I forgot the betrayal, forgot the way my heart had shattered 2 nights ago at that engagement party. "Alex," he said, voice rough like gravel under tires, stepping forward to pull me into a hug that smelled of hops and wet flannel. "You came." "Of course I came," I muttered into his chest, my arms wrapping around him despite the scream in my head to push away. "You texted like it was life or death." We stood there, the rain pattering on the leaves overhead, until he pulled back, his hand lingering on my shoulder a beat too long. Jamie, my best friend since freshman year at SUNY Brockport, was off in Boston for some robotics conference, his escape from the family drama that Owen and I had stumbled into last summer. Owen led me inside, the screen door creaking like an old complaint, and the house wrapped around us like a memory. Faded wallpaper in the hallway, the scent of Mom's apple pie that wasn't baking tonight because she and Dad were at a VFW bingo night in town. We ended up in the basement rec room, the one Jamie and I had claimed as our kingdom back in high school. Beanbag chairs sagging under years of spilled sodas, an ancient foosball table scarred from endless matches. Owen flicked on the lava lamp, its orange glow casting shadows that danced like accusations. He handed me a beer from the mini fridge, our fingers brushing, and I felt that spark again, the one that had ignited in the quiet hours after Jamie crashed out during movie nights. "Sit," he said, dropping onto the couch, patting the spot beside him. I did, but not too close, not yet. The air was thick, charged, like the moments before a thunderstorm breaks over Lake Ontario. "I saw you," I blurted out, the words escaping before I could bottle them. "At the party. With her. Emily, his fiancée. The girl from his law firm, all polished smiles and trust funds, the kind of future his parents had mapped out since he was in diapers." Owen's face crumpled, just for a flash, before he scrubbed a hand over his stubbled jaw. "Alex, it's not. Don't." I cut him off, my voice sharper than I meant. "Don't tell me it's not what it looks like." I was there, hiding in the goddamn coat closet like some pathetic spy because I couldn't face the toasts. The engagement party had been at the country club in Pittsford, all crystal glasses and forced laughter, and I'd shown up uninvited, desperate to see him one last time before I transferred schools, before I ran from this mess. He set his beer down, leaning forward, elbows on knees, that earnest tilt to his head that always undid me. Owen was 28, 6 years my senior, built like the high school quarterback he once was, solid, unyielding, with tattoos peeking from his shirt cuffs that told stories of rebellion he never fully chased. "I didn't want this," he said finally, voice low. "The ring. The plans, it's all Dad's bullshit. The family legacy crap. Law firm merger. Keeping the name alive. But Emily. She's part of that machine." His eyes met mine, pleading. "You're not. You were never supposed to be collateral." Collateral. The word hit like a sucker punch. That's what our summer had been. Stolen glances in the kitchen while Jamie scrolled TikTok. Late-night drives to the lakeshore where we'd park under the stars and his hand would find mine. Tentative at first, then hungry. The first kiss had been impulsive, after a bonfire party where too much whiskey loosened our guards. His lips tasting of smoke and salt, mine trembling as the world tilted. We'd kept it hidden, a secret flame in the dry tinder of our lives, but it burned brighter than I ever imagined. Until now. I stood, pacing the threadbare carpet, the lava blobs mocking me with their slow, indifferent flow. Then why propose? Why parade her around like she's the answer to your prayers? Owen rose too, closing the distance, his presence filling the room like heat from a radiator. "Because I'm scared, Alex. Scared of what this means, of losing the only family I've got left after Mom's cancer scare last year. Scared of you." He reached for me, thumb brushing my cheek, and I hated how my body betrayed me, leaning in. Me? I'm the one who has everything to lose. Jamie finds out, and poof, best friend gone. My parents? They'd ship me back to Ohio faster than you can say disown. The basement felt smaller, the walls pressing in with the weight of unspoken truths. He pulled me closer, forehead to forehead, breath mingling. "Stay tonight," he whispered, the words a lifeline or a noose I couldn't tell. "Just one night. Let me show you it's real." My resolve cracked like thin ice under boots, and I nodded, the hook sinking deeper. We kissed then, slow and desperate, hands mapping familiar paths, his fingers in my hair, mine under his shirt tracing the ridges of his abs. The couch became our confessional, clothes shedding like old skin, bodies entwining in the dim glow. It was tender, fierce, a reclaiming. Afterward, tangled in a blanket that smelled of dust and us, he murmured promises into my neck. "I'll fix this. We'll figure it out." Sleep came fitful, dreams laced with wedding bells and slamming doors. Morning light filtered through the basement window, gray and unforgiving, and I woke to the sound of footsteps overhead. Jamie back early? No, just the neighbor's dog barking. Owen was gone, coffee brewing upstairs. The note on the table went for donuts. "Be back soon. Love. Love." The word stared back, bold and terrifying. I dressed quickly, heart pounding, and slipped upstairs to the kitchen, the house quiet save for the drip of the faucet. On the counter, beside the coffee pot, was the mail, unopened envelopes fanned out like a bad hand in poker. One caught my eye, a cream envelope, embossed with the country club's seal, addressed to Owen and Emily. I shouldn't have. God, I know I shouldn't have. But curiosity is a thief, and it stole my sanity that morning. I slid it open with a butter knife, the paper crisp under my fingers, and pulled out the invitation. Not just any save the date for the wedding, 3 months out, with a glossy photo of them, Owen in a tux, arm around Emily's waist, both smiling like they owned the future. But it was the enclosed note that gutted me. Handwritten in her looping script. Darling, can't wait to build our life. P.S. Dad's thrilled about the merger. Your secret's safe with me. Secret. What secret? My hands shook as I refolded it, jamming it back. But the damage was done. Was this about us? Had he told her? The front door clicked open, and Owen breezed in, paper bag swinging, grease spots blooming on the bottom. Hey, sleepyhead. Got your favorite, glazed with sprinkles. His smile was easy, boyish, the one that had first charmed me over backyard barbecues. I forced a grin, throat tight. Thanks. Smells amazing. We ate at the Formica table, knees brushing under it. Small talk about the rain forecast and Jamie's conference paper. But the envelope burned in my peripheral vision. A landmine waiting. Finally, as he rinsed plates, cracked. Mail came. Looks important. He dried his hands, glancing over, and froze when he saw the tampered envelope. Alex, what secret? Owen, my voice was steel, sharper than the knife still on the counter. His face drained of color, eyes darting like a cornered animal. It's nothing. Firm stuff. Bullshit. I shoved the note at him, the paper crinkling. He scanned it, sighing deep, like exhaling a lungful of smoke. Okay. Fine. Emily knows. About us. Sort of. She overheard a call last month. Promised to keep quiet if I went through with it. Said it'd protect the family. The business. Betrayal bloomed hot in my chest. A wildfire. You told her? And she blackmailed you into marrying her? No, God. No. It's mutual. She's got her own skeletons. Alex. Abusive ex. Pressure from her folks. We both need this facade. He stepped closer, hands raised like I was a spooked horse. But you and me, that's real. That's why I called you here. I laughed, bitter and hollow, backing toward the door. Real? You're building a life with her while I'm your side story? I can't. The words choked off as tears pricked, hot and unwelcome. He grabbed my wrist, gentle but firm. Stay. Please. We'll talk to Jamie together. End this charade. But the fight had ignited, and I wrenched free, storming out into the drizzle, his pleas echoing behind me. Alex, don't go like this. I drove aimlessly, tires hydroplaning on wet leaves. Rochester's gray sprawl blurring past. Abandoned factories on the Genesee. The planetarium dome like a fallen UFO. Hours later, my phone buzzed. Jamie. Dude. Home early. Owen said you bailed? WTF? Panic surged. If he knew. I pulled over at a Tim Hortons, hands trembling as I texted back. Family drama. Tell you later. But later never came easy in our world. That night, I crashed at a motel off I-90, the kind with neon signs flickering vacancy, like a siren's call. The room smelled of stale smoke and regret, the bed sagging under my weight as I scrolled old photos. Owen and me at Niagara Falls, arms slung casual around Jamie's shoulders, our secret hidden in plain sight. Sleep evaded, chased by what-ifs. What if I'd never stayed that first night? What if love wasn't enough against the American dream of picket fences and mergers? Dawn broke weak, coffee bitter in a styrofoam cup, and I made the call I dreaded. Jamie answered on the second ring, voice groggy. Alex, where the hell are you? Long story, I said, throat raw. Can I come over? Need to talk. About Owen. Silence stretched. Then, yeah. Get here. The drive back was a funeral procession. Each mile marker a nail in the coffin of what we'd built. Pulling into Elm Street, the house looked smaller, less like home. Jamie met me at the door, his lanky frame filling the frame, glasses askew, concern etching lines on his 19-year-old face. What's going on, man? Owen's been pacing like a caged tiger. Inside, Owen was in the living room, nursing a coffee, eyes red-rimmed. He stood when he saw me, hope flickering, but Jamie blocked him. Talk. Now. The words tumbled out in a rush. The kisses, the nights, the engagement as a lie. Jamie's face cycled through shock, hurt, fury, landing on something shattered. My brother? With you? And you hid it. He turned on Owen. You were supposed to protect him, not screw him over. Owen's defense was quiet, broken. I love him. Jamie. That's why it hurts so much. The room erupted. Yells bouncing off knotty pine walls. Accusations flying like shrapnel. Jamie stormed out to the garage, wrenching open his toolbox like he could fix this with socket sets. Owen and I stood amid the wreckage, the space between us vast as the Grand Canyon. I'm sorry, he whispered, pulling me into his arms. I let him, for a moment, breathing him in the cedar cologne, the steady heartbeat. Me too, but sorry wasn't salvation. As the afternoon waned, Jamie reemerged, face streaked with grease and tears. You too. This is messed up. But your family. Both of you. It wasn't forgiveness. Not yet, but a bridge. Fragile, swaying. We spent the evening in uneasy truce, pizza delivery, bad TV, words tiptoeing around the edges. Owen's hand found mine under the blanket, a silent vow. But as night fell, Emily called, her voice tinny through the speakerphone Owen had on mute. We need to talk, she said when he finally answered. About us. The wedding. The air thickened again, promises fracturing. I slipped away to the guest room, the twin bed creaking under me, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin. Down the hall, muffled voices argued. Owen's low rumble, her sharp edges. Betrayals echo. Round 2. Morning came with the sharp trill of Owen's alarm, yanking me from a dream where we were all drowning in Lake Ontario. Jamie flailing, Emily's laughter bubbling up like poison gas. I padded downstairs in socks, the house humming with the coffee maker's gurgle and the sizzle of bacon. Jamie was at the stove, flipping strips with mechanical precision, his back to me like a wall. Hey, I said softly, sliding onto a stool. He glanced over, eyes guarded behind his bangs. Hey. Sleep okay? The question hung, loaded. Like shit. You? Same. He plated the food. 3 servings, and we ate in silence until Owen shuffled in, hair tousled, wearing the same jeans from yesterday. The tension crackled, invisible lightning. Morning, Owen tried, voice tentative. Jamie nodded curt, forking eggs. Emily called again. Twice. Owen's fork paused midair, color draining. What did she say? That you're an idiot if you blow this. And that she knows about Alex. Jamie's gaze flicked to me, accusatory. Said it's complicated, but she sounded hurt. Owen pushed his plate away, rubbing temples. It's not what you think. Emily and we've been friends since undergrad. She gets the pressure, the expectations. When she found out about you and me, she didn't freak. Offered to help cover. The word slithered out. Oily. I set my fork down hard. Help how? By marrying you? That's not help. That's a cage. Owen's eyes pleaded. It's temporary. By time to come out, to explain to Dad. Jamie snorted. Dad? The guy who still quotes Reagan like gospel. He'll disown you faster than a bad investment. The kitchen clock ticked. Each second a countdown. Rochester's suburbs were a bubble safe, predictable, where men like Owen built empires on handshakes and where boys like me learned to hide in plain sight. I'd grown up in a Rust Belt town near Cleveland. Dad a union welder who'd call anything fairy shit after a six-pack. Mom baking casseroles to drown the silence. Coming to New York for college was my rebellion. Jamie my anchor. Owen? He was the horizon, vast and terrifying. I need air, I announced, grabbing keys. Owen stood. I'll come. No, the word was a blade. I bolted to the car, windows down, wind whipping as I aimed for Highland Park. The leaves were turning early this year, fiery reds and golds mocking the chill in my veins. I hiked the trails, boots crunching gravel, mind replaying every touch. Owen's laugh rumbling during our first real date, a dive bar in Charlotte Village where he'd confessed his doubts over wings and whiskey. I've always known, he'd said, hand over mine. Just waited for the right storm to break. My phone vibrated. Owen. Where are you? Jamie's worried. I'm sorry. Then Jamie. Talk to me. Man. This hurts. Guilt twisted. Sharp. By noon, I was back. The house a pressure cooker. They were in the garage. Jamie tinkering with his dirt bike. Owen handing tools like a penance. Truce? Jamie asked, wiping sweat. I nodded, joining them, the scent of oil and exhaust a familiar bomb. We spent the afternoon wrenching, stories spilling, Jamie's latest crush on a TA, Owen's law school horror tales. Laughter crept in, tentative, but it was something. Evening brought rain again, fat drops slapping the roof as we ordered Chinese from Golden Wok. Fortified by lo mein and tsingtao, Owen cleared his throat. I called Emily. Told her it's off. Jamie's chopsticks froze. You what? It's done. No more lies. Owen's voice steadied, resolute. My heart leaped, foolish hope blooming. But the doorbell rang, insistent, angry. Emily stood there, umbrella dripping, eyes blazing under perfect makeup. We need to talk. Now, she pushed past, heels clicking on linoleum, surveying us like suspects in a lineup. The living room showdown was epic. Voices rising over the patter outside, accusations volleying. You can't just bail because of him, Emily snapped, gesturing at me. This was our deal. Owen stood firm. There is no deal. I love Alex. Always have. Jamie jumped in, defending his brother for the first time, words tumbling fierce. He's choosing real over fake. Back off. Emily's facade cracked, tears streaking mascara. You think it's easy for me? My family's the same, country club or bust. If I walk, I'm done. Vulnerability peeked through her armor, humanizing her. We talked then, raw and real, for strangers bound by secrets. She left at midnight, umbrella forgotten, A tentative call me hanging. In the quiet after, Owen pulled me aside. Thank you for staying. His kiss was soft, grateful, leading me upstairs to his room, the one with posters of Springsteen and faded Glory Days trophies. We made love slow, exploring like it was the first time, whispers of forever against skin. Dawn found us entwined, but reality intruded with Dad's truck rumbling in the drive. Boys, breakfast, his bellow echoed. Owen tensed. He can't know. Not yet. The charade resumed, casual bro vibes over pancakes, Dad droning about Steelers odds. But under the table, Owen's foot nudged mine. Promise. Days blurred into a fragile normalcy. Jamie and I patched with late-night gaming sessions. Confessions over controllers. It weirds me out, but you're happy. That's what matters. Owen and I stole moments, coffee runs to Javas, hands brushing in the drive-thru. But shadows loomed. Emily texted Owen, Dad knows. He's furious. Fix this or else. Pressure mounted. Family dinners tense with Dad's probing glances. Heard you're off the wedding train. Son, smart. Mergers are traps. Owen's laugh was forced. Yeah, Dad. Learning that. The breaking point came midweek. I was at the library, cramming for midterms, when my phone exploded, voicemails from Jamie, texts from Owen. Get home now. Heart slamming, I sped back, screeching into the driveway. Dad's truck was gone, but Mom's minivan idled, hazards flashing. Inside, chaos. Mom sobbing on the couch, Jamie pacing, Owen white-knuckled on the phone. What happened? I gasped. Jamie whirled. Emily's dad called. Told ours everything, the engagement. You too. Dad flipped, called Owen a disgrace, stormed out to the bar. Mom looked up, eyes red. He said, things. About family. About you, Alex. The words landed like blows. Owen hung up, face ashen. He's at Mickey's. I gotta go, but I stopped him. We go together. The dive bar on Lake Avenue was a haze of neon and regret. Jukebox crooning Merle Haggard. Dad hunched at the corner booth. Whiskey neat, sweating condensation. We slid in opposite, the air thick with unspoken indictments. Sit, he grunted. Owen started. Dad. Listen. No. You listen. Dad's voice was thunder. This family built from nothing, mills closing, me breaking my back. And you throw it for this. His gesture encompassed me. The sin. Words flew hurt. History. Please. I love him. That's not nothing. Owen's confession hung. Brave. Dad's face twisted. Wars raging behind eyes. Love don't pay bills. Or keep names alive. But Mom's arrival shifted tides. Her quiet strength. Enough. We're family. All of us. Hours later, back home, Dad retreated to the garage, but the door stayed cracked, a sliver of maybe. Healing began, tentative stitches on wounds. Yet betrayal's ghost lingered. Emily cornered me at the grocery co-op, cart to cart. You ruined him, her whisper venomous. He was mine to save. I fired back. He was never yours. We all deserve real. She deflated, nodding. Maybe, but her eyes held storms. As autumn deepened, leaves carpeting streets in crimson, Owen and I grew bolder, hand-holding at the public market. Weekends in the Adirondacks hiking peaks where judgments couldn't climb. Jamie came around fully, even teasing, "Don't make me third wheel forever." Dad grunted approvals over dinners. Mom baked pies with rainbow sprinkles hidden in the crust. But Emily's shadow darkened. A letter arrived. Anonymous. Spilling our secrets to the local paper. A family scandal snippet in the Democrat and Chronicle. Whispers started at Owen's firm. My classes. Faggot lawyer's boy toy. Slurs scrawled on my dorm door. Climax brewed that crisp November eve. Bonfire at the lake house Dad rented for reconciliation. Emily showed. Uninvited. Bottle of wine in hand like a Trojan horse. Truce? She toasted, but her eyes on Owen screamed possession. As flames crackled, stories flowed, vulnerable, laced with booze. Then, the bomb. I slept with him last week, she announced, casual as passing chips. To remind him what he's losing, lies or truth, Owen paled. What? No. But doubt seeded. Thorny. I bolted into the woods, branches whipping, tears hot. Owen chased, tackling me gently to the damp earth. It's a lie, Alex. She's desperate. Under stars piercing the canopy, we confronted fears, fractures. I believe you, I whispered, but the trust cracked. Back at the fire, Emily confessed. Bluff, born of pain. Forgiveness circled, uneasy. But the night etched scars. A reminder. Love's a battlefield, littered with mines. Winter clamped down on Rochester like a vice. Snow piling drifts against the windows, turning Elm Street into a postcard of isolation. The scandal snippet faded from headlines, buried under holiday lights and Bill's playoff hype. But its ripples lingered. Owen's caseload lightened as clients whispered, my profs offering awkward support chats that felt like interrogations. We hunkered down, a makeshift family forging bonds in the forge of adversity. Christmas Eve. Dad strung lights on the spruce in the yard, grumbling but present, while Mom orchestrated the feast. Turkey brining, Jamie and I on pie duty, Owen sneaking kisses in the pantry amid flour dust. That night, after carols and eggnog, Owen and I slipped out to the backyard, breath fogging in the frigid air. He pulled a small box from his coat. Not a ring, thank God, but a keychain etched with coordinates, our lakeshore spot. For when we run, he said, hazel eyes reflecting firefly sparks from the house. No more hiding, I kissed him fierce. Snowflakes melting on lashes, the world narrowing to us. Inside, toasts rang, Dad's gruff to new beginnings. Jamie's wink, even a text from Emily, happy holidays. Sorry for the drama. Be good to him. Human moments, fragile as frost. January brought resolutions and reckonings. Owen confronted his firm, resigned from the merger track, pivoting to pro bono for LGBTQ+ youth, trading corner office for community center cubicle. Scary as hell, he admitted over diner hash browns, but his smile lit brighter. I aced midterms, buoyed by his late-night pep talks, and Jamie started dating his TA. Confessions over beers. Seeing you too. Makes me braver. We were healing, stitching quilts from ragged edges. But betrayal's undercurrent pulled. Emily reached out. Coffee at Spotty's on Main neutral ground. Steam rising from mugs like peace offerings. I was wrong, she said, stirring cream endlessly. Jealous. Scared. My ex. He outed me once. Ruined everything. Her story spilled. A closeted bi woman trapped in hetero scripts, using Owen as shield. You too? You're the real deal. I want that. Vulnerability bridged us. I hugged her goodbye. A tentative ally forged. Spring thawed the ice. Dogwoods blooming along the Erie Canal. We planned a road trip, Finger Lakes Loop. Wineries and waterfalls. Jamie shotgun with playlists of indie folk and Springsteen anthems. Laughter echoed in the Subaru. Windows down. Wind tousling hair. At Watkins Glen, we hiked gorges. Hands linked openly. The sun dappling like blessings. That night, in a B&B with clawfoot tubs, Owen proposed not marriage, but partnership. Move in with me. After graduation, tears pricked. I yes-ed with a kiss that sealed fates. Yet conflict simmered. Dad's health scare, a mild heart episode during a VFW poker game, rattled us. Hospital vigils in fluorescent hell. Mom's hand in mine. Owen pacing halls. I can't lose him now, he confessed, voice breaking. Not when we're this close. Dad pulled through. Discharge papers signed with a weak joke. No more wings. Doc says. Recovery brought depths. Bedside confessions. Dad admitting his own regrets. Missed chances. Rigid walls built from factory fears. Love who you love, son. Just be happy. The words, gravelly, unlocked floods. Graduation loomed, cap and gown season, but shadows gathered. Anonymous emails hit Owen's inbox. Threats from firm old-timers. Slurs laced with doxing hints. Fairy filth ruining traditions. Police reports filed, but fear gnawed. Jamie, ever the fixer, rallied. We're not backing down. A community rally at the Pride Center speeches. Signs. Solidarity. Owen on stage. Voice steady. Hate hides cowards. Love builds bridges. The crowd roared. Me in front row beaming. Emily even there. Cheering. Climax crashed that June. Solstice sun high. Package arrived, no sender. Brown paper crinkling. Inside photos. Stolen moments. Kisses in the park. Tangled in bed through window blinds. Grainy. Invasive. Accompanying note. End it or everyone sees. Family first. Owen's hand shook as he read. Mine clutched his. Who? Jamie stormed in. Scanning. Emily's ex? Firm grudge. Panic swirled. But resolve hardened. We go public, Owen declared. On our terms. The press conference was Dad's idea, VFW hall. Flags and folding chairs. Locals packed tight. Owen at podium. Me beside. Jamie and parents flanking. These are threats against my family. My chosen family. Slides clicked. Photos blurred for privacy. Note transcribed. But we're not ashamed. Alex and I love each other. That's the story. Gasps. Then applause swelled. Drowning jeers. Dad stood, proud of my boy. Tears flowed free. Aftermath was whirlwind. Media calls. Support floods. But the betrayer unmasked. Emily's ex. A disgruntled paralegal with a vendetta. Arrest swift. Charges piling. Emily testified. Voice iron. He destroyed me once. Not them. Justice. Bittersweet. Summer deepened our roots. Moving van to a cozy bungalow in Park Avenue neighborhood. Boxes unpacked amid laughter and sweat. First night. Sheets crisp. Owen's arms my harbor. We made it. Love deepened. Layered with Scar's wisdom, romantic dinners at Salvatore's, lazy Sundays biking the Sam Patch Trail. Jamie visited, bringing his boyfriend, double dates turning quad chaos. Parents adapted, mom's scrapbooks now including us. But humanism whispered, not all ties mended clean. Emily drifted, finding her own path, a therapist's couch, tentative dates with women. We exchanged cards, bridges intact but distant. Dad's gruff affection grew, fishing trips where silences spoke volumes. Owen's work bloomed, cases won for kids like we'd been, hidden, hurting. One August eve, storm brewing over the lake, we sat porch swing creaking. Question everything? Owen teased, echoing that first text. I leaned in, worth it. Every shattered piece. Thunder rolled, rain sheeting, but we stayed dry under eaves, hearts open. Fall semester kicked off with a vengeance. Syllabi stacked like indictments, but our bungalow became sanctuary. Kitchen table scarred from late-night cram sessions, Owen quizzing me on torts over takeout pad thai. Negligence, duty, breach, causation, damages, he'd drone, foot hooked round my ankle. Laughter punctuated, easy now, the rhythm of us. Jamie, sophomore slump conquered, crashed often, his TA boyfriend Theo folding into our fold like he'd always belonged. Board game nights devolving into inside jokes. For voices harmonizing bad karaoke. Workdays blurred. Owen at the center. Sleeves rolled. Advocating for a teen outed by peers. Me barista and G at Joe Bean. Steaming lattes for co-eds with crushes I smiled through. Evenings. We cooked his chili. My experimental salads, wine flowing. Stories unspooling. Remember the basement? He'd murmur, nuzzling my neck. Felt like the world ending. Was the start? I'd counter, pulling him closer. Intimacy evolved. Tender explorations in dawn light. Bodies maps redrawn with Trust's ink. Conflict resurfaced subtly. Owen's firm, new gig. Progressive but politics simmering. A senior partner. Harlan. Eyed him wolfish. Good optics. The gay hero bit. But don't rock boats. Owen bristled. Confiding over porch beers. Feels like treading eggshells again. I squeezed his hand. You're not alone. Solidarity strengthened us. But pressure chafed. Late nights drafting briefs. His return hollow-eyed. Miss the simple days. He'd sigh. Collapsing beside me. Betrayal specter returned via Harlan. Whispers of sabotage. Owen's pro bono hours reviewed for billables. A leaked memo surfaced. Anonymous. Accusing nepotism in his hire. Who's gunning? Jamie fumed over pizza. Theo nodding sage. Dad. Over a rare visit. Grunted. Cutthroats. Watch your back. Owen laughed it off. But doubt seeded. Thorny vines. High drama peaked mid-October. Harvest moon fat. Harlan invited Owen to a networking gala, black tie. Schmooze fest at the Memorial Art Gallery. Go, I urged, ironing his shirt. Show 'em you're unbreakable. He went, reluctant. Me solo with Netflix and nerves. Midnight call, Alex. Pick me up. Now. Voice slurred. Edge panic. I flew there, weaving gala traffic. Finding him on marble steps. Bowtie undone. Eyes wild. What happened? In the car. Torrent. Harlan. Drunk. Cornered him in a coat room. Handsy. propositions laced with threats. Play nice, or that pro bono glory fades. Owen shoved him off, fled. Rage boiled in me, protective. We report. He shook head. No proof. His word. Old boys club. Home. Shower steaming. I held him under spray, washing away grime. You're enough, I whispered, lips to collarbone. That night, love fierce, reclaiming power, bodies urgent, gasps echoing tiles. After, tangled damp, he confessed, scared I'll lose you to this grind. November elections loomed, national tensions mirroring ours, headlines screaming divisions, protests downtown. We marched, signs aloft, love wins, always. Hand in hand, chanting, the crowd a heartbeat. But post-rally, scuffle, counter-protester shoved Owen, slurs flying. Bruised ribs, but spirit unbroken. Hospital wait, Jamie pacing, family sticks. Mom arrived with thermoses, Dad silent sentinel. Harlan called next day, feigned concern. But Owen fired back, resignation on your desk Monday. Freedom tasted sharp, new job hunt. Freelance consulting for NGOs. Relief washed, but voids gaped. Financial pinch, uncertainty. We'll scrape, I said. Budgeting apps open. Romance sustained. Anniversary surprise. Me blindfolding him to Buttermilk Falls. Picnic under Cascade Roar. 1 year, he toasted with sparkling cider. Kisses sweet, mist-kissed. Human threads wove deeper. Emily reemerged, engaged, this time to a gallery curator. Her smile genuine over brunch at Lux. Learned from you, she admitted. Chose me, toasts clinked, past pardoned. Jamie and Theo moved in nearby. Quad dinners ritual, Thanksgiving at ours. Turkey stuffed with Dad's recipe. Laughter drowning old ghosts. Climax crested Thanksgiving week. Snow dusting early. Harlan's final jab. Lawsuit threat. Claiming defamation from Owen's exit. Papers served at the bungalow. Deputy at door like bad omen. Panic surged. Lawyers consulted. Savings drained. Fight, Owen vowed, but weariness etched. I rallied, GoFundMe launched. Community poured, Pride Center donors. Old clients. Even Emily's check with note. Pay it forward. Trial loomed, but mediation brokered. Settlement quiet. Harlan's retreat. Victory Pyrrhic. But ours, headlines shifted to Owen's resilience. Podcast invites rolling. Hero's journey, Jamie joked. But truth deeper. Love's quiet steel. Winter solstice. We escaped to the cabin, fire crackling. Mulled wine warming. Under boughs heavy with snow. Owen knelt. Marry me? Not for show for us. Ring simple. Silver band etched with our coordinates. Tears froze on cheeks. Yes. Joy swelled. Uncomplicated. Spring bloomed renewal. Wedding plans whispered. Small affair at the lake house. Invites sent. Family. Friends. Emily as witness. Vows exchanged barefoot on shore. Waves lapping promises. In storms and sun, Owen said. Ring sliding warm. Kiss sealed. Cheers erupting, Jamie whooping. Dad clapping slow. Mom dabbing eyes. Life layered on, my grad school acceptance. Owen's book deal on queer rights in Rust Belt America. Betrayals, faded scars. Reminders of growth. Romance endured, stolen weekends in NYC. Broadway shows hand in hand. Quiet nights reading aloud, voices entwining. One eve, porch swaying, fireflies dancing. Owen mused, that stay overnight changed everything. I smiled, head on shoulder, broke us open. For better, stars wheeled, vast. Our story one thread in the American tapestry, flawed, fierce, human. Years folded like accordions. Summers sticky with lake sweat. Winters cocooned in quilts. Our bungalow grew. Bookshelves groaning under law tomes and poetry. Herb garden out back yielding basil for pesto nights. Marriage settled easy. A well-worn path. Anniversaries marked with hikes. Inside jokes evolving lexicon. Owen's book launched to acclaim. Tours crisscrossing Midwest. Me tagging along when shifts allowed. Hotel rooms havens of reunion sex and room service. Jamie and Theo wed in a vineyard ceremony. Us best men tandem, toasts roasting. Dances sloppy. Dad, Frylier now. Walked Jamie down aisle. Whisper to Owen pre-ceremony. You were right. Love's the merger that sticks. Mom's garden bloomed wild. Her pride flags fluttering year-round. Emily's life paralleled. Gallery openings. A daughter adopted. Playdates with our imagined future. Auntie M, we teased. Her laugh bright. Conflict revisited softly. My first big case. Public defender gig. Pitting against Owen's old firm ghosts. Ethical knots. Dinner debates heated but fair. You're brilliant, he'd concede. Makeup kisses cooling tempers. Parenthood beckoned. Foster certification. Then little Eli. 4-year-old tornado with Owen's eyes. Placed tentative. Nights of bottles and bedtime stories. His tiny hand in mine. Love you, Papa Alex. Owen's gaze softened. Ours now. Adoption finalized lakeside. Papers signed under willows. Family expanding. Betrayals echo dimmed. But life's curveballs struck. Owen's diagnosis. Routine check uncovering pancreatic shadow. Waiting room hell. Fluorescent buzz eternal. Early, doc said. Treatable. Chemocycles blurred, hair lost. But humor held. Bald and beautiful. He'd quip. Me shaving solidarity. Jamie rallied meal trains. Emily sending care packages of essential oils and snark cards. Dad visited. Stories of mill buddies beaten cancer. Tough as nails. Like you. Remission came spring. Scans clear. Party at the lake house, bonfire roaring. Toasts to warriors. But the scare reshaped. Priorities sharpened. Travels bucket listed. Amtrak to San Francisco. Rainbow flags waving. Road trip Route 66. Motels with neon hearts. Romance reignited. Urgent. Sunsets in arches. Bodies under canyon stars. Whispers of gratitude. Humanism bloomed in margins. Owen mentoring at the center. Eli's school play where he played tree with gusto. Community wove tight block parties. Pride floats we built in garage. Glitter forever. One July 4th. Fireworks bursting over the Genesee. Eli on shoulders. Boom. Dads. Laughter free. Climax revisited not in storm. But quiet crescendo. 20th stayover anniversary. Basement rec room reclaimed. Lava lamp bubbling. Foosball dusted. Jamie crashed. Theo grilling burgers. Parents toasting. Owen pulled me aside. Box in hand. Vow renewal rings. Etched deeper. Still question? He asked. Eyes twinkling. Never. I lied. Grinning. Always a little. Keeps it real. Vows renewed couchside. Family witnesses. Kisses ceiling. Eli yawned. Boring grown-up stuff. Chuckles rippled. Aging graced us. Gray threading temples. Lines etching smiles. Owen's second book. On family reinventions. Dedicated to Alex, who stayed. Tours lighter. Home anchored. Eli's teens brought tempests, coming out as non-binary. School bullies. Our arms open. You're perfect. Echoes of our youth. Guidance forged from fires. Elder years. Porch swing sacred, creek's companion to tales retold. Dad gone peaceful. Mom in assisted living with stories. Jamie's kids calling us uncles. Summer's chaotic. Emily's visits. Wine-fueled wisdom. We all betray ourselves first. Then heal. One autumn dusk. Leaves gold. Owen's hand frail in mine. Best question I ever asked. Breath ragged. But smile steadfast. I held tight. Answers yes. Forever. Stars emerged. Witnesses eternal. In the end, not tragic, but full. A life American as apple pie with rainbow crust. Dramatic arcs bending to emotional truths. Romantic flames banked warm. Humanistic heart beating on. We questioned everything. Found grace in the answers.